Oh boy, here we go again. I got 3 crazy stories for you. One is from Oxford, where a man stands up to a bunch of Islamists, telling them that they don't really stand for free speech, and he proves it to them right in front of them, embarrassing them, really. The second story is about Mamdani's grocery stores and how he's going to require identification to shop there to make sure people from New Jersey aren't shopping in the New York City government-ran grocery stores. Ironic, considering they don't support the SAVE Act. And thirdly is the craziest story of them all. And you're going to want to hear it. It's disturbing, it's disgusting, and it's evil. But before we get started, like, subscribe. I'm Noel. This is The Daily with me. Let's jump right into it.
The Policy Exchange report, titled Unsettled Belonging, published in 2016, which claims to be the most extensive research of British Muslims ever conducted, revealed that, let's do it, 43% of British Muslims supported the introduction of Sharia, not British law, Islamic law. 53% prefer to send their children to school with strong Muslim values, suspicious perhaps of Western ones. Maybe, I don't know. 44% that schools should be able to insist on face coverings. Does this sound like a community which seeks integration? Do we have a right to be suspicious of those who reject our values and the societal norms of their host country? 24%.
To answer his question, no, it doesn't sound like an ideology or a culture that means to assimilate with British culture. Not even a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a people that during Ramadan will attack and yell at and berate because they're eating on Ramadan. So to me, it's no surprise that they want these things. But let's continue.
And 31% thought that it was acceptable to keep more than one wife, illegal in Britain, but fine in Sharia, apparently. And 35% believe that the Jews have too much power in the UK. 52% compulsory halal. I could go on and on and on and on. But most important to me, is the free speech of this. So let's get this out, shall we?
Okay, now this is the part you're going to want to pay attention to because he plays a trick on the Muslims in attendance. He plays a trick on everybody. And you're going to want to pay attention to this because it proves his point.
78% of British Muslims believe that no publication should publish pictures of Muhammad. An overwhelming majority. That rises to 87%. That's 9 out of every 10 Muslims that are walking the streets today in a country which absolutely abandoned blasphemy laws. Suspicion is not strong enough a word. The West should resist Islam in the strongest terms on free speech grounds alone. So here we are with this cartoon, right? And it's time to show that I will not submit. I will not adhere to the religious laws of far-off places. Now, my wife asked me not to show this for fear of repercussions in my family, but I told her that if I did not, then I had already submitted to Islam. So here we are.
So what he's insinuating is that he has a picture of Muhammad, their prophet, in that envelope, and he means to pull it out and display it. Watch what happens next.
But I told her that if I did not, then I had already submitted to Islam. So here we are.
Is it not enough that half the team that invited you to this debate were Muslim women who wanted to hear out your expression and your arguments? Is it not enough that I, as a Muslim president, have invited you to this chamber to give your arguments? Is that not enough justification and evidence for you to believe that we do believe in free speech? I would not become the president of a free speech society if not for this.
Thank you, may I? Thank you very much. May I finish? Excuse me.
A point of order having been raised, I will hear the ex-librarian.
It's a long time since I've been in this chamber and knew the rules off by heart. But in the House of Commons, and we model ourselves on the House of Commons, props are not allowed. I wonder whether the rule on props is the same in the Oxford Union.
I thank the honourable gentleman for his point of order.
Excuse me, for 1 second.
One moment.
In the absence...
Mr Fox, one moment, Mr Fox. The ex-president is also raising a point of order, I think.
Just so it's helpful to inform the ex-librarian others, at least my 4 years involved with society, that ban was not extended and didn't seem to apply to Israel and Palestine flag.
Thank you. So, right, I just want to wrap this up.
I am going to rule on the point of order. There is no bar in the forms of the House.
Now, really quick, I want to point out, you notice how he was about to pull out the image of Muhammad, and he got objected to 2 times by Muslim supporters and 1 Muslim. Keep that in mind.
Against the use of props. However, I would encourage Mr Fox to make the point and move on.
I was, until points of order. So it is in that spirit that I will not submit that I show you this as an Englishman who believes in free speech. I I will not submit. I will not bow down.
So you see the genius of which he conducted himself right there? He insinuated that he was going to do the one thing that Muslims absolutely do not tolerate. He was going to pull out a picture of Muhammad in front of them. They objected. The same people who said that they advocate for free speech were objecting to him pulling out that image. If you were for free speech, why would you object to him pulling out that image? Why? Now, again, I will add one thing, that I wish he had pulled out the actual image. I do, because that would have demonstrated that he indeed did not submit to Islam. But I also understand that he was proving a point, and the point was proven the moment they stood up to object. For this next clip, we have Mamdani, who has instituted his government-ran grocery stores. But there's a funny problem here. There's a funny contradiction, hypocrisy even. He requires identification to shop there. You can't make this up. Watch.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, G-Pack, to add some additional details.
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque thing, and also we manage who's buying, and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers. So we are mindful of that, and so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
Did you catch what she said? They're going to have a library card-esque system. So an identification system? You know, the same thing that the SAVE Act is all about, securing our elections with voter ID. So these people will try to gaslight you into believing that voter ID is racist, but not when it comes to shopping at their grocery stores. That's not racist, apparently, no. They just want to secure the border of the government-ran grocery store to only New Yorkers. Only New Yorkers can shop there. Makes sense. It does. It makes sense. But then they have to admit to their hypocrisy. The irony that they are against voter ID for our elections, but they support identification when shopping at their government-ran grocery stores. Guys, what these people are telling you have been lies. They're gaslighting you every step of the way, and you're falling for it. Stop falling for it. Stop voting for these people. They contradict themselves constantly. The hypocrisy is glaring, guys. Can we please get past this and stop voting for people like this? If voter ID is racist, then what is this? They just don't want ID for elections so that they can cheat. It's that simple. Now, I promise you this last story would be disturbing. It's disgusting. It's happening right here in the United States. My only question is, how often does this kind of thing happen? This person here is a transgender woman. So a man who believes they're a woman. And to be honest, that part has nothing to do with the craziness of this story. This person doesn't have a license to run a funeral home, to embalm bodies or anything. And yet he, and yeah, I said he, owns a funeral home and has been scamming his customers. Watch.
That's how Unique Green stormed out of the courtroom Friday morning.
I don't have nothing to say.
But asked how Green made an $800,000 bond earlier this week, Green didn't have many answers. But what about those forged documents prosecutors say got filed to steal the estate of Lawrence Gammon?
Did your mother forge them? Did your mom forge them?
No answers there either. When Houston police raided Green's funeral home in the 3rd Ward, investigators allegedly found a Home Depot bucket full of organs. And what about those?
They were for you to eat for lunch.
Green is now free from jail on 5 felony charges, in addition to allegedly forging paperwork to claim the estate of a man who passed away last summer, which included his home, vehicles, and retirement accounts. Green is also accused of forging paperwork to the State Funeral Commission for funeral director and embalming licenses.
She has always claimed her innocence, that she's not guilty, and that's an explanation for all this evidence against her.
So for now, Green is out of jail on bond and ordered not to engage directly or indirectly in planning any end-of-life services in Harris County. That includes not accepting any money for those services or holding out to be someone who can perform those services.
So you heard all that correctly. This person has a Home Depot bucket in his funeral home full of human remains. They also forged documents on one of their cadavers, claiming to be his wife so that he could claim all of his assets. The family stated they don't know who this person is. They never heard of him. In addition to that, this person also forged documents to gain a license to run a funeral home, to embalm bodies. Now, you can tell by this person, the way they're reacting on camera, that they're not a sane person. They're not a good person. This is an evil person. Say it bluntly. This is an evil person. How does he explain having a Home Depot bucket full of human remains just sitting in their funeral home? How do you explain trying to steal someone's assets and wealth? Someone who passed away. And by the way, that person that he tried to steal all their assets still hasn't had a funeral yet because of this entire situation. Everything's basically evidence at this point. So that's why I saved this for last, because this one's disturbing. It's a disturbing story about a person who's obviously out of their mind and thinks that these kind of things are okay. Now, the thing that pisses me off the most about this story right now is that they're free. They have 5 felony counts and they're free to walk right now. They could flee the country for all we know. They could seek revenge on the families that brought this to the law enforcement's attention. I don't know. This person's not sane. So I don't know how someone who commits a crime like this is just free to walk the streets. I don't get it. But this is what we do here on this channel. We bring to you the stories that nobody's talking about, that nobody hears about. I like to point out the hypocrisies of these stories so that you can hear the gaslighting for yourself. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below, continue the conversation down there. I'm Noel. This is The Daily with me. Christ is King, and I'm out.